Well, Josh Court, if I'd have told you 12 months ago that you'd be going to the World Championships this year, would you have believed it? Did you believe in yourself then?
Yeah, look, still pinching myself a little bit. I wouldn't have thought we'd be getting this chance, but the last 12 months we've been putting in a huge amount of hard work, and the fruits of our labours finally come through for us, so it's really good.
You've had to make some big sacrifices. Obviously one of them was leaving your beloved Perth and moving to Melbourne. How hard was that?
It was a huge move. I'd never lived out of home before. Moved in with the Schumanns initially, but moving out onto my own, doing your own washing and cooking and cleaning, and make your bed and fold your socks and jocks and all the rest. So that was definitely a new experience for me. So a bit of time management definitely came into it. And then, of course, taking on the role of doing a full-time job, working 7 till 3, and then trying to get in enough training around that to be our best.
So have there been times when you've wondered whether it was all worth it?
Look, certainly there's been some tireless weeks, doing a bit of overtime, trying to train 8:39 at night and then get it done on the weekend, work maybe even a Friday or a Saturday night, just doing a bit of bar work. And it's been tough, and there has been doubts at times whether can we do this. It is quite expensive trying to get it all done on our own, and it's a lot of hard work, but I think now we can finally see that light, and it's really starting to pay off.
As a player, how much do you think your game has improved over the past couple of years?
Massively. I've learnt a huge amount. I've been under direction of a couple of different coaches now, so we just kind of pick and choose a little bit about what works for us personally and what works for us as a team. We've learned a huge amount about our bodies and about nutrition, what we need to be doing in the gym just to be at our peak constantly. I'm really happy with my skills are at and where I am athletically, so it's good.
And with Damo, you always know that as a defensive player, you've got one of the best in Australia and one of the best in the world. Does that take a lot of pressure off you, just knowing that he's got such great court coverage?
It does, but I'd like to think I could put a little bit more pressure on my own personal blocking to try and take a little bit of the angst off him, so we can kind of work a little bit better together. Ideally, I'd like to have him sit in the back court and have a couple of tea and let me do the work for a couple of games.
But you obviously, you're such a good team on the court, and you bonded so much off the court as well. You guys have become quite good friends, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. First moving over to Melbourne, Damien and I train almost every day before we actually decide to unite as a team. So we formed a really good friendship, especially with Damien's family as well, before choosing to play together, which was nice.
What does World Champs mean for you, Josh?
It means we had a beginning, about 18 months ago to 2 years ago when we began. But this is the start of the real international push for us points-wise, especially being the year before the Olympics, where everyone's out to try and take as many points as they can. And then the year even after the Olympics, when a couple of those teams drop off World Tour, if we can have quite a good world ranking, that's going to be our in to really push and be a full-time main draw World Tour team.
And mate, was there a moment when sort of the light bulb went on and you realised, the pair of you, that you could mix it? I'm thinking South America last year, where you had such that big tournament. Was that the moment when you realised that you have got the game that can take it up on an international level?
Yes, partly there, partly when we were in Poland playing Chris and Isaac, Queensland, I think it was late last year, or early last year rather, beating them in 3 sets in that quarter-final. That was a huge win. When we were in South America in Qatar, I took a knee injury, had surgery 2 weeks before we flew over. But the fact that we still managed to string a few really good games together, qualify for both of those Opens, was just a good show from both Damien and I, that even carrying an injury or carrying a bit of an ailment, that we can still get the job done.
The World Championships is a huge achievement, but do you dream about the Olympics? Do you dare to think about that as a possibility?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I'm really excited at the prospect and learning more about the qualification process and how we're going to go about that. And from what I understand, if the top guys qualify straight through, there'll be the second and third team vying for that spot. But first and foremost, we're going to have to work together to get that spot. And then at the end of the day, whoever they decide is the better team to go, the better pair to go, we're not going to argue with that, because that's where they make the right decision.
Well, mate, it's been an exciting journey so far, and we know you've got lots more excitement to come. All the best, mate.
Thanks, Ross.